So, hello everyone, thank you very much. Thank you very much, SecTec, for a great day. I know we're coming towards the end of it. So, once again, my name's 𝗲𝗹𝗶𝗴, Territory Manager for Central and Eastern Europe. And I apologize, I don't speak any Slovak, so we have to do this in English. So what I wanted to do was, first of all, give a little bit of a basis around Entrust's philosophy for identity management. It's all based around Entrust. As you all know, it's a little bit more complex than this. It's not just everyone who works in your company and everyone who doesn't that we've got to be wary of. There's a lot more to Zero Trust. And I'm going to skip through quite a few of the slides to get to the more interesting pieces, I hope. So I'm sure all of you know that the Zero Trust concept is quite old. It came from 𝗲𝗃𝗏𝗏 about never trust, always verify. And I think that's a very, very good way, a first step to be thinking about identity management. And especially now we're moving into a world where we're getting artificial intelligence. This is a big threat to all of us, and especially in identity management with the ability of artificial intelligence to imitate a person. We've all seen all the videos of lots and lots of presidents and prime ministers that are being deep-faked. So how do we identify whether it is me and not a deep-fake? So 61% of, this is the latest data we have at the moment, 61% of all breaches involved a compromise of credentials. As you all know, companies, especially phishing, is trying to get hold of your customers' credentials so that they can imitate them to access someone else's data. And I'll very briefly cover passwordless towards the end of it. And this is another way as well in the whole structure. Again, under the Zero Trust, it's all about building up a structure inside the company that fits the company's needs to protect their data. And passwordless we see as a very important part of it. So how do we achieve Zero Trust? Again, very briefly, there's a couple of things here. You all get a copy of the slides running through here. What we do need to do is add at the bottom artificial intelligence. We haven't done it yet, we're still working on it, because this is a moving thing. And the Zero Trust, the CISA, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, came up with these 5 pillars. Networking, diversity, application, data. So these are the areas we need to look at. As I said, I'm just running quickly through these slides so you can read them later in slow time. And this is how we've structured it. All the different areas fitting into the CISA model in the 5 blocks, different levels, and we've identified all the different areas that we see as vulnerabilities in your identity structure. Because when you're building up the identity infrastructure, identity verification infrastructure for a company, it is more than just buying a piece of software. As you know, it's a bit like a PKI. A PKI is some software, but most of the work for a PKI is all the work in organizing all the processes, procedures, how you want it to work, how it will be monitored, how it will be audited, everything like that. This is exactly the same. You've got to work through all these and start thinking where and how it needs to be implemented, and especially not just for the security, but how does that achieve the needs of the organization you're working with? For example, the easiest way is just block off everything. Yeah? Give no one access to the data, no internet connection. I've got it all locked away in a safe. Perfect, no one can get it. But that doesn't help an organization. And a bank needs to be very open, because a bank has to allow a customer to have the easiest access to their bank details, otherwise the customer will find another bank to work with. So it's a difficult balancing act, so you really need to sit down and work through, step by step, the balance between the best security and those that meet the needs of the customer the most. So proposition. I'll skip through this because I'm already running out of time. The identity solutions of Entrust, just to let you know, we have on-prem and we have as a service. There is a matrix, it's not on here, I can provide it later. Martin, somewhere, I not see him here, from SecTec, he also has this very clear spreadsheet listing exactly what the different solutions have and what features are and aren't available. But we are in the magic quadrant now. In some countries, this is very important, but it is just to show that we are in the market, we're not just a newcomer, and we have purchased on Friday, we've just spent just over $600 million on purchasing a company called 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗏. So 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗏 is a new, not a new company, not really new, but they are an identity access management company that focuses very much on AI, which is the focus of this. And that, I think, will show you that Entrust is absolutely committed to the whole philosophy of identity access management, to identity verification. We are spending, it was actually $690 million investment in bringing in that knowledge into the company so that we are a leader in this. Because what you must also think is when you're selecting a company to work with on your identity verification IAM, is it a company that can achieve what you need today, but will it also, as technology and all the hackers improve their ability, are they going to be with you tomorrow and the day after tomorrow with the latest technology? And hopefully the 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗏 acquisition will help you. So first stage, we think very, very important, is the device. What device are you going to use? We need to verify that device. In Entrust, we are all issued with an iPhone, so it's quite simple. We get an iPhone, the IT manager, they decide what ISO level. A couple of days ago, I hadn't been upgrading my iPhone like a lot of us because it always seems to work slower after you've upgraded it. All my services stopped until the only thing I was allowed to do on my iPhone was upgrade the iPhone software, because that was deemed as a risk by the security manager in the IT type. So the very first thing you do that. We also understand that in some organizations, you may not be able to just issue iPhones. You may not want iPhones. You might want Samsung. You might want something else. Or an organization might have a BYOK policy, in which case it's very difficult to have a BYOK policy and say BYOK is you can only have an iPhone. And you've only got an iPhone that's 3 years old, because once it's 3 years old, it's not going to allow you to upgrade to the latest ISO. Again, it's a balance. It's all part of the sitting down with the organization you're working with and understanding what fits their requirements as a balance to the security. So we provide you with the tools that can verify the device is a secure device, and it's not going to be the device that's causing a problem that's hacked. So hopefully this little video, look, I've got a couple of videos because I think they're much more interesting than listening to me. ID proofing. So now we've established that the device is a trusted device. Now we need to start identifying whether that person is, and remote access management. First of all, and there's multiple ways this can be deployed, but we'll just quickly run through how we see it as. So first of all, we take a document. We work with, at the moment, over 150 different types of documents, and we take so you've downloaded the app after the device has been verified it is able to take the app. You then take a photograph of the back and the front of an approved ID. That could be a driving license, it could be a passport. As I said, we've worked with over 150 different documents in the world, and we're open to more. Then, it's not on this, there is a next step that we can add. Again, it's up to you guys when you're working with your customers. We can take through NFC the chip, and we work with a large number of chip providers. We can do more chips, so you can actually read the chip. Then we move to facial recognition, and this is where AI is starting to come in. Deep fake, nice photograph, very high resolution photograph. So we've already got tools in there which says move your face to the left, to the right, up or down, and it will be different requirements each time someone is doing their facial recognition. Yes, we do need to improve it, but this is why we've purchased 𝗲𝗶𝗶𝗏, so that we can improve it to take on the deepfake on facial recognition. Then we do a validation test using over 50+ forensic tests to check that that photograph and that ID card, or whatever document was used, are the same. That's done in the cloud, but none of the data is kept in the cloud, which is important for some people for requirements. It's just processed and then thrown away to prove that it is that person. Then you have identified that the person on the end of that phone is the person on that ID card. And it's quite a quick process, and at the same time, to make a coffee. So she's not going to do the chip verification on this video, and she's not going to move her face on this video, but it just gives you a basic understanding of what is achieved on this. She's got a nice cup of coffee, and she's completed the checks, the basic checks. Then what you do with that, well, that's up to your organization, because you've then done remote verification. We're all aware of NIS2 with digital signature, the European Union digital wallet. All this is going to be coming to all of us in not too distant future. Certainly in timelines for building up all the security and making sure it's ready, I'm sure it'll happen a lot quicker than we're anticipating. So this can be used, for example, if you are a TSP, you want to do onboarding of someone for their digital signature. At the end of this, there's a picture in a minute you'll see, where you sign an agreement. This could be opening up a bank account. One very large reference we had this is after Brexit in the UK, there were 8 million European Union citizens left in the UK who were not registered, because you didn't need to register when you're a member of the European Union. You just moved around to each other's countries. It was lovely. But the UK decided that was it, and they gave 3 months for all the European Union citizens to register. And the authorities realized that to get around, they thought it would be 5 million. It turned out to be 8 million. But to get 5 million people to queue up at the post office with your ID card to fill in some paperwork to say that after Brexit, you wanted to stay in the UK and be formally registered to live in the UK would just be too much work. The post office would grind to a halt. So this system was deployed, and it was actually successful for 8 million people in 3 months, where they all registered and then got the documents sent to them. Okay, they were sent to them in the post because that's the way it works, but they did all the work to register for their residency paper through an Entrust app. You could use it for opening up a bank account. Lots and lots of banks now are closing their branches all across Western Europe. I'm not quite sure around here in Slovakia, but the banks are less and less physical branches. You can do this if you already have a bank account. There are a number of banks we work with that do this, that you use this system, and then you can request to have a credit card. And as soon as you've completed this, the credit card is then, you sign the document online, and then the credit card is sent to your phone. So you don't ever have to go out of your kitchen to get a credit card from your bank. So lots of applications. So here's just one, document signing. So you do the verification, you do a little signature, you get the document. This can be tied in with a TSP to have a eIDAS approved digital signature. We do have some eIDAS certificates on some of our identity verification solutions. If any of you are interested, please ask SecTec, they can tell you. But we do have some eIDAS certificates. I've been speaking to a TSP yesterday who was very interested in looking at this in preparation for NIS2, when digital signature will be required. Another video. Again, the tools we come here can be completely reconfigured with whatever logos, whatever colors, whatever you want. This is just the basic for demo. Of course, you can put up to have whatever organization you want on it. This is very similar to the one we saw before, with the lady making a cup of coffee while she was doing this. We do actually work with one government where we are doing a government portal, providing this tool, and through that portal, using your identity verification, and then similar to passwordless, whenever you do, you have to do some sort of biometric activity to access it, where everything that you would normally interact with the government is done through the biometric verification. I was actually with a guy when he received a message for him to approve the birth certificate of his son, because that was all issued, and he had to do a photograph of himself to prove it, that it was him, to sign the documents to say, and then it automatically issued the birth certificate for his son. So, and this is, I've got like 4 seconds left, so passwordless. I'm not going to run the video because I've run out of time. But passwordless is almost the same. What we're doing is we're putting an app onto your phone. We're using Bluetooth. We support FIDO. If you want it, you don't want it, or you want a mixture. And then what happens is when you come up to your device, you set the Bluetooth signal strength, and you use your mobile device. And that can be set up with, I personally use fingerprint, one of my colleagues use facial recognition, so that you can only log on and off your device using your mobile phone. And that has lots more security advantages. So we get rid of the password. You're bringing in biometrics into the control and access of all your company data. So sorry, I've run out of time. We could do this for a couple of hours. If you want any more information, please contact myself. I've got you all know Martin from SecTec. He knows this probably better than me. So thank you very much for your time.